So apparently the pyramids down there are a lot. They're a lot bigger than the ones
it's super
in
megalithic.
Egypt.
Like they make the one at Giza, the Great Pyramid, look like a buggy, a dune buggy. I mean, these things are super massive.
Do you know anything about them?
No, there's not a lot. There's only a couple things we know. Like one of the pyramids is 2 kilometers by 2 kilometers by 2 kilometers by 2 kilometers at the base.
Oh, wow.
Okay. The height is just, it's massive. It's way up there. Like, it's in the thousands of feet. But also, one former military person that was a source for Linda Moulton Howe. This was on a documentary she was in. She said that source told her, after going down there for research, I guess in private security, that it was still emitting some type of exotic energy, which is pretty interesting because that was the second time I heard a statement like that. The first time was on a documentary that came on Discovery Channel about the Bermuda Triangle, where they found those pyramids off the coast of Cuba down there, right? Which is clearly scanned. Everybody knows that they exist. But this guy was taking he would get off the boat and take like a dinghy out to float to the center area. And he said the same thing. Some type of exotic energy was draining his batteries on his cameras. He had to try 3 times to get this thing recorded properly. He said exotic energy. And what's interesting is if you take a perfect line and draw it from the tip of the Bermuda Triangle, the center of the Bermuda Triangle, straight through the earth, you come out at the Yonaguni Pyramid at the Dragon's Triangle in Japan, which is also rumored to have disappearances and exotic energy and all this other crazy stuff. So in some way, these pyramid structures around the world are all linked with potentially portals of some type or energetic portals.
Interesting. Just some facts about Antarctica. It's 5 million square miles. 99% of it is covered with ice. It's the highest, driest, and coldest continent on Earth. Record negative 130 degrees Fahrenheit. It's the fifth largest continent, twice the size of Australia. 70% of the planet's fresh water comes from Antarctica. There are rivers and lakes underneath the ice. Mm-hmm. The difference between the North and South Pole, the North Pole ice, the North Pole is ice over water, and it's 10,000 feet deep into the ocean. Mm. The South Pole is ice over land and is 10,000 feet high. That's the center of the plateau. Yeah. And then goes on to talk about the pyramid structures.
Yeah.
We also signed a treaty, the Antarctica Treaty. Do you know about this?
Yeah, that treaty was to allow peaceful collaboration of research and science down there, no war zone. You can actually go down there. There's a guy who's got a new show on my TV network his name is Brad Olson. It's called The Secrets of Antarctica. He went down there, and so we're documenting the whole thing. He went down there, he pulled up on the research facilities. He had to get approval to come on land. They wouldn't let him inside of the facilities, but he did get a chance to go down there. So people who say it's impenetrable and no human being no civilian can get there, that's actually not true. You actually can. It's very expensive and it's very taxing on the body, but you can get down there. And so it's pretty interesting. So that'll be coming out soon. But there's an opening next to these research facilities. And this is why I believe they made this treaty, this sharing of information treaty or whatever. There's a 30-meter wide opening there. You can see it on the Google Sky thing. And what's interesting, on Google Earth, I'm sorry. And when you look at it, like, what's in there? Now, why are they over here? And why are they so close to this gigantic opening? What's in there? And I think the answer is whatever Admiral Byrd came across, or whatever they're coming across, I think it's linked. I think there's a remnant of an ancient civilization in there that possibly is still there, and they're in communication with them, in my opinion. Another thing that backs this up, I took a remote viewing course with Major Ed Dames, Project Stargate, former CIA, United States. And his project was for remote viewing. So I took a course with him several years. He was my actual teacher, my direct teacher. It wasn't like I was under some other people that worked with him. No, he was my direct teacher. There's pictures of me with this man. And he told me that there's beings that have easy and free access to come and go as they please from Antarctica. At one of these classes, class was over. It was like a 10-hour class. We were just sitting around talking, having a casual conversation. He told me a few other things, but that was one of the things that kind of stood out. And he says they come and go as they please because nobody can stop them. And another interesting thing, Buzz Aldrin went down there a few years back.
Who's that?
Buzz Aldrin, he was the first man to walk on the moon.
Okay.
And he went down there to Antarctica, and he made a tweet, which got screenshotted and saved by thousands of people, thankfully, before it got deleted the next day. He said that the people down here that were meeting were facing the ultimate evil or something to that effect. And the tweet is still available. I can look up the original tweet. And then a day or two later, they had it deleted and said, oh, he just had a heart attack. We had to rush him home.